Oh, good afternoon, everybody. It's Maureen here again with Taking the Fear Out of Cancer. Well, first of all, welcome. It's a pleasure to speak to you every week. So today I want to talk about fire and ice. Those of you who know me pretty well, particularly those that I work with or that are family members, know that I have quite a feisty or a fiery part to my nature that perhaps I don't show all the time, and it's not obvious all the time when I'm in a speaking gig or I'm talking to a client where it's not appropriate to be feisty and fiery. But there are times when it is appropriate. I had such occasions over the past few days in a work environment, and find myself getting caught up in all the thinking that was going on in my head. And in essence, it's a passion. It's a seeking the right thing to do and feeling that nobody's listening. And that's when I get more and more caught up in my thinking and caught out. And that's when the passion and the fire and the feistiness appears more often. But how does this relate to cancer, you might be thinking? What on earth is she wittering on about being passionate and feisty and fiery and the shouty version of Maureen that a lot of you may not have seen? I was reflecting on how I received my diagnosis. Completely just going back to that place in June 2017 and seeing how I was in that moment. And I found no need to go into the fiery part of me, the feisty part of me, the angry part of me, should I say. It didn't appear because it didn't seem the right thing to do. It didn't seem normal. It never even crossed my mind. So through any cancer journey or any other journey in life, there's going to be highs and lows, ins and outs, good points, not so good points, and some downright horrible points. But when you give yourself permission just to be around the situation, when you give yourself permission to be okay with what's going on, that's when things settle. It's a bit like the snow globe that I think everybody has implanted in their brain. You stop shaking it. And when you stop shaking it, the snow falls to the bottom and you can see through the water in the glass. That's when clarity arrives. That's when, for me, peace arrives. And that's what I had through all of my journey through the cancer, that whole 6 or 7 months from the start of diagnosis to the end of treatment. I would also like you to consider about what the body requires in order to heal best. Would it heal best in somebody who's potentially frustrated or angry or upset or in a state of anxiety most of the time, or somebody who's more calmer and more relaxed? And I'd invite you to consider that the position that you want to aim for, should you be able to control your emotions, is to be more calm. I used to have a brand called the Calm Coach, which my family thought was quite an odd thing to call me, because they saw the feisty version of me more often. But during the cancer phase, there was nothing to be feisty about. Yes, I wanted to get a positive outcome to the treatment, but there was no need to be angry, frustrated, or annoyed, because that wasn't going to help. What I did know and intuitively knew, and even if I wasn't fully aware of it on a cognizant level, was that I was going to be okay no matter what, and that being at peace with the situation was going to be the best solution for me. Yes, I found some inner strength and resilience that I had talked about for so often and for so long to clients, but I found it in myself during that space of time. And it was okay. It was like, wow, this stuff really exists. Who knew? We were right all along. So I'd invite you to give, if you find yourself in such a position, I'd invite you to give yourself permission to be at peace with what's going on, to be okay with what's going on, no matter how scary it might feel in the moment. But you don't have to wait until you've got a massive diagnosis before you tap into that part of you that is okay with life. You can have that at any point, absolutely any point in time. It's just recognizing where the emotions are coming from, where the frustration, the anger, the upset is coming from. And I hate to burst anybody's bubble, but it's all coming from within us. It all comes from within us. And the only person shaking your inner snow globe is you, like I was the other day at work, shaking it really quite violently. But I then let it settle, and the snow fell to the bottom. I took some deep breaths, always a good thing. And clarity resumed and returned. My colleague David is watching this as I witter on at you today, and he can give you chapter and verse as to what occurred, should you ask him. But for now, this is all about understanding that there's value. There are times when there is value in showing the fire inside of you, showing the passionate side of you when it's required. But there are other times when it's most beneficial to you and for the body to heal, moreover, in a calmer, more relaxed state, particularly around any kind of level of illness. And that includes mental as well as physical. I invite you to be okay with where you're at. Not blindly accept what's going on, but be okay with the information that you've been given. Be okay with life in general. And a calmer, more relaxed state. I can't guarantee, but is likely to follow. So, has my fiery side got me in trouble? Oh yes. Oh yes, it has. And Lucy's watching, and yeah, she and I are probably quite similar in emotional standpoints, even if I don't tend to show it that much in a speaking gig. So fire is important, but the ice, the calm, the coolness is equally as important. And it's being aware that you can choose the right emotion for the right event, for the right situation, and be okay with that. Sometimes I get it wrong. Okay, so let's clarify. A lot of the times I go straight into fire, and then things settle. So I'm still a novice at understanding this emotional stuff. But when I give myself permission to be around a situation, then I don't even have to think about which emotion or which situation to be in, because it naturally occurs. And it's allowing things, the natural ebb and flow of life to occur. That's when the magic happens. And for me, I was given 100% kind of evidence of that back in 2017. And yes, I'd like to be more calmer more of the time. And who knows, if I just let myself be today, that might be how it shows up. So parting words for me today are: be okay in the situation you're in. If the emotions peak and trough, be okay with that too. But know that the body has a natural state of equilibrium. The mind is a self-correcting system, and it will bring you back to center if you allow it. It's only when we interfere that things keep getting jumbled up, like this snow globe or the proverbial glitter ball. So for today, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It's been a delight, as always. Fabulous people that are watching me today. And I'll speak to you next week. I wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Happy, beautiful day, everybody.